morning and welcome to the channel. We're out bright and early, came out the first light, steamed out to a wreck with a plan to drop the anchor and practice catching conger eels for the Conger Cup, which is in early August. That's the plan. Just drifted about trying to get a bit of bait. Not getting picking up any mackerel at the moment, but what I am picking up is little pollock off the wreck. So yeah, they're a good conger bait, albeit not what we really want. We'd like some mackerel, to be honest, but we'll have another drift and have another go at that. Obviously we're putting the pollock back, unless they're barometric blown, in which case we'll use them as bait. But we'll have one more drift try on that. What I've got on, I've got a set of sabikis and then a jig on the bottom. The little pollock are hitting the sabikis though. Just fishing them in a sort of slow jig style. Quite on close to the wreck. I mean, it's risky because there's a lot of hooks. So there's you quadruple or up your chance of hooking the wreck by however many hooks you've got on there. Can't go fishing and not lose some gear, unfortunately. Fingers crossed. Yeah, beautiful day. It is a window in the weather. I think we're going to get this beautiful weather till about 1 o'clock, and then the wind is going to start picking up, and then we've got a period of windy weather over the weekend and what have you. So I've grabbed this opportunity to get out. I wanted to get out earlier in the week, but unfortunately I've come back from Costa Rica, and somewhere between Costa Rica and here I picked up a really nasty chest infection. You can probably hear me, I'm a little bit croaky now, but Wednesday I couldn't walk. Everything ached, so I wasn't coming out Wednesday, which is what the plan was. Unfortunately Neil was going to come at me Wednesday, had to cancel at the last minute. He went catfish fishing, and I think he had quite a lot of catfish, so you know, every cloud has a silver lining, as they say. Nothing that drift. We'll go around one more time and then we'll drop the anchor. I've got some frozen bait, so I've got baits to put down, and we can leave the mackerel feathers working all the time we're fishing. Oh hello, oh hello, hello, hello. Picked up some mackerel on the way up, I think. That's a bit of a result. What have we got here? Yeah, mackerel. Happy days. Happy days. Nice little joey. Oh, we'll keep that in mid-water then for a bit, see if we can't get some more. If there's one, there must be more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's try it there. It's funny because I'm using the jig. The jig, when it goes down, it doesn't go straight up and down. It darts. So sometimes when you lift into the line, it feels like you've got a fish on, but it's not. It's the jig responding. I like using the jig on the bottom of my mackerel feathers because it's, you know, at a distance the mackerel are going to see what looks like a fish chasing small fry, and they'll come over to investigate. That's my theory, and also it means the feathers aren't just going up and down. But that's my way of doing it. I'm sure everybody else has got their own way of doing this. We all have our own ways, don't we? I'll talk about a few of my techniques a bit later during the day. How I rig up for taupe, how I rig up for eels, yeah. Let's keep working at that and put the camera on when something else happens. Well, looks like that conger rod there is got a bit of activity on it. There's a few little nods and taps on it. It could be just pouting, ragging at the bait, or it could be a big eel coming along and having a little mooch at it. Oh. Anchor drift alarm on. Oh. I've just moved the anchor warp over to this side of the bow, so the boat kites north a little bit, because we are a little bit south on the wreck. We want all our scent and everything to be going back into the wreck. Having said that, that was definitely popping just now. It's got to be quiet now. Let's let a bit of one now. Now, I've been tackling up for my next adventure, which is going to Mozambique in the new year. And one of the things I haven't got in my arsenal is a heavy duty popping rod. So I've bought a heavy duty popping rod and a heavy duty saltwater fixed ball reel. And so I'm going to have a little go with it with a bait on. It's not really what it's designed to do, but I have got a popper on the end of it, so I just want to have a couple of chucks with it, see how well it casts. So see if the camera follows me. It's not following me, is it? Face track enabled. Right, okay. So let's have a couple of chucks of this rod and reel. I think one of the things mental note to self, when I go to Mozambique, I need to take a finger fob with me, because I think there's a lot of casting involved in this popping malarkey. And hot sunny day, wet salty fingers will end up with sore fingers. It goes out all right, considering that's not a particularly heavy popper. And it's popping. I mean, I've got it completely rigged up and correctly because I've got quite a big swivel on it. Wouldn't it be funny if a big fish came up and took this? Yeah, I think with a heavier popper, that'll go out quite well. Tighten the drag up. It makes quite a good splash. It's not a particularly big popper, this. Just want to practice with it really before I get out there, so that don't look a complete muppet. I mean, if a bass came up on this rod would totally overgun it. This is a powerful rod. Not quite as powerful as a GT rod, but I think everything else, it would certainly handle a roosterfish out in Costa Rica. Next time I go there, I am taking a rod tube with me, and I'm going to take some rods. Right, let's rig this rod up now as a congering rig. Be nice to christen it with something that puts a bend in it. I don't know if you were seeing the popper pop in there or not. I'll show you in a minute. It's not a particularly big popper, it's more of a bass popper than deep water fish. Yeah, that was the popper I was using just then. Nice popper, you know, when the bass are hitting them on the surface, that is going to really pay off. But that's not happening today. So let's get this tackled up yeah, get it down with another bait on. I don't know what bait I'm going to put on it too. Right, put the camera back on when things happen. Well, it's been very quiet because I've been waiting for the tide to start running, so I put a scratching rig down, which was basically a set of mackerel feathers with bait on, with a jig on the bottom with bait on, and we've got something on here. Let's give it a good old tug. Don't know what it is. It it wouldn't be fishing if you're not catching these fellas. No. Wouldn't be fishing if you weren't catching these fellas. And that's on a jig which I turned round so the hooks were on the bottom and put some bait on it. Bertie, there's hooks here, you keep away. So, let's put him back before the dog gets him. The dog on a dogfish. No. Well, we've had a couple of pollock and a dogfish so far. It's not exactly setting the world alight. The sea is beautiful, I have to say, but I can just start to feel the start of that wind that's coming. So we'll see, we'll see. Keep on keeping on, see what happens. Well, we fished as the ebb started to build up, and all we had was a dogfish. No sign of anything else. So we're gonna have a couple of drifts on this wreck with a slow jig. Tide is very slow, so we should bode well. We should be straight up and down and over the wreck for a little while, and then we'll go and have a go on another wreck, jigging, and then if the weather's still holding, we might drop the anchor on a third wreck and just fish a bait on the bottom for a bit on the third wreck. The wrecks out this way, I don't like anchoring them on the ebb. I lost an anchor on this wreck a couple of years ago. It's very clayey or muddy this side of the wrecks for some reason, and the anchors don't hold very well. Like them on the flood, but not on the ebb. Yeah, it might just be me, but you know, if you don't have confidence in something, then don't do it. That's what they say. Well, that's what I say. So anyway, we're going to jig this. There are some pollock on here because we had some when we first got here. So they were only small pollock, but who knows? There might be some big pollock amongst them. We'll give it a go. Nice big bass would be nice. Got a fancy bass for my tea. Drifting very slowly. Going nowhere near the wreck at the moment, but we are drifting in the right direction. So I'll flick the camera on when if something decides to bite on my jig. I've got a pout in. Yeah, baby. Poxy pout in on a jig. Spit it out quickly, because we need to get back down because we're on the wreck. Yeah, the wreck's coming up. So we just dropped on a little wreck on the way to where I was going. Thought we'd have a couple of drifts on that. Looks like there's fish showing on it. Slow jig maybe is not the way to do it today. Maybe we should be using paddle tails. Who knows? Who knows? There's a lot of mayrot in the water, so could be that. Puts them off the feed, clogs their gills up. I got a hit then. Fish showing again above the wreck. Big layer of fish above the wreck. Could be mackerel, maybe we should try feathers. Well, we come to the final place. Wind is starting to pick up a little bit now. It is forecast to get stronger around about 1 o'clock and onwards. So we've got about an hour, I reckon, here, and then we will pack it up. But we've dropped the anchor. I've got 2 big baits down, fishing back into the wreck. The wreck kind of lies across behind us here. Yeah, see if we can't pick up an eel. I've not had a great deal of success fishing this side of the wreck, but you know, never know. It could be a self-fulfilling prophecy, couldn't it? It could be that I've not fished this side of the wreck because I don't fancy it, and therefore I don't think it's very good. Last time I came here, I had problems holding my anchor, but I think, touch wood, I've resolved that. We'll see. We'll see. If the anchor alarm goes off, then I have to stop. Whoa, hello. Hello, hello, hello. That's a big bait on there. It's a huge bait on there. So let's see if that develops into a conger bite. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see what happens to that. Got cheap Chinese circle hook on there. I kind of learnt my lesson the other day. You should always fish as though the next fish is going to be your PB, and I'm fishing with a pretty fine circle hook on that hook with a big bait, so I wouldn't be surprised if the hook don't straighten out. And I've learned myself another lesson, but that is a big bait on there, so that's like a proper conger bite, you know, nothing happening, bang, bang, and then suddenly it's going to go right over. Let's see. Yeah, another good tug on there. Can you see this as the camera's not pointing in the right direction, is it? Are you seeing the cam rod or not? Let's kill me. Let's turn the camera around so it's watching the rod tip. Can't see if it, yes, you've got the rod there. So watching that rod and watching it knock. Oh yes, there's definitely something having a tug at that. That's definitely Conger City. Just waiting for the big lunging bite. Come on, tap tap. What I used to say in the old days was that as soon as you start seeing the conger eel bite, you should light a cigarette and smoke it before you do anything. So you let it develop. I'm going to see if I can use a boga grip on it, if I get it in. Let's get these out ready. So let's clip that to something so I don't lose it. On there, yes. Don't count your eels until they're caught, of course. But perhaps I should make myself a brew, make myself a cup of tea, drink a cup of tea, and then wind into it. Nothing happening now. Maybe it was just a dogfish and tugging at it, ragging at it. Right, the fact that you're watching this video does mean that something's happened. He's still nodding around on that. Yeah, still something there. And again. Because the irony will be is that both rods will go at the same time. I'll put the camera on when something happens. That was a good bite on here just then. Yeah. There's something on it. Oh, christening the new rod. A lot of May rock coming up this line. Oh, it's an eel, I think. Could be a taupe. Could be a taupe. It's an eel, it ain't a big one. Oh, got colour. Got some colour. What is it? Is it an eel? It's not a dogfish, that's for sure. Yeah, it's a little strap. Of course, I put the bloody boga grip. That's all, but it's only little, so. Oh, ping me nail. That would be a nice fish off the beach. But a bit smaller for wreck. T-bar, T-bar, T-bar. Where did the T-bar? There it is. Right, let's T-bar him off. And away! He's gone. He's gone. Right, I just want to say sorry to my very expensive popper rod and very expensive big game fixed ball reel, but you know, I did have to christen it, and it handled that little eel like it wasn't there. I mean, it overgunned it really. Let's have a look at this, because this has been down a while and we were having them great big knocks and then nothing, which I suspect means my bait got robbed, but we'll see. A lot of May rock coming up the line. Oh, you see all this snotty stuff coming up the line and forming it on the end eye. Perhaps that's what I had. It wasn't a cold. I had May rot. Oh, the bait's still there. Been pretty well noshed that. I suspect it's a smaller eel was at it, and yeah, something's had a good go at it, hasn't it? Let's put a fresh bait on there. Sea eagles. Let the sea eagles have that. Kettle's boiling, dog's whining. Tide is whistling through now, hence my huge weights. But I am holding the bottom with these big weights, that's the good news. Kettle's boiling. Right, I'll put the camera on in a minute. Oh, a conger eel was a target species. All right, it was only a strap, but does that mean I can hear some music? It's a two-noodle day, and this is a Bombay bad boy, and it's quite warm actually, but it's all right. Well, the weather has done exactly what it was forecast it was going to do. It's gone 1 o'clock and the wind has picked up. It's getting a little bit rock and rolly out here, so I'm going to pack away. I'm going to pull my anchor up and then see how it drifts. If I suspect it's going to be quite hard drifting, wind across tide like this. It's kind of tide's running that way, wind's coming from that direction, so it's not even wind into tide, it's wind cross tide, which makes it a little bit rolly. We'll pack up and go in, but let's get the anchor up and see. Always a challenge. No, it's as we are drifting quite quickly in totally the wrong direction, and because the wind is against the tide, it's getting very choppy, so I think we're going to knock it on the head and head in. So thanks very much for joining us. It was a bit of a, well, it was a window in the weather. We got out, and it was lovely, wasn't it, first thing? Pity the fish didn't get the memo, but hey, that's fishing. I think if I'd come out on Wednesday, it would have been quite a different thing, but I was incapable of skippering a boat on Wednesday. So let's get this jig up. There is some fish showing up at sort of mid-water, but it's maybe I'll put the mackerel feathers down. Get this jig up, put some mackerel feathers down quickly. That's not so essential that you're over the wreck for mackerel feathers. These jig hooks, being Japanese, are severely sharp. Luckily it didn't go in past the barb, but it drew blood. Right, whoops, where's the camera doing over there? Come back. I'm here. Right, let's get this put away. Let's just whack them mackerel feathers down once, just to see if we can get some bait to take home with us, or something to eat, and then we'll head in. That wind is definitely picking up. Woo! Blowing the dandruff out of my whiskers, that's for sure. The microphone, I don't know if the microphone's picking it up or not, but Yeah, it has done exactly what the weather forecast said it was going to do, so I can't complain. Even to open the dog up. Yeah, there's a big cloud of fish down there, just under the surface. Don't know what it could be. It's down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. Let's get this show on the road. Let's get back into the harbour. Thanks very much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next one.